Before you hit that Taco Bell drive-thru, there's a lot you need to know. Behind the cheap prices and tasty ads, there are hidden ingredients, insider secrets, and health concerns most people never hear about. From what's really in the meat to why you feel weird after eating it, this video breaks it all down. Watch until the end, because once you hear the truth, you might never look at Taco Bell the same way again. Before you even unwrap that taco or dig into that burrito, you should know that the meat at Taco Bell isn't exactly what most people think it is. According to Taco Bell itself, their seasoned beef is made up of 88% actual beef, while the other 12% is a blend of ingredients meant to improve texture, flavor, and shelf life. This includes things like soy lecithin, maltodextrin, autolyzed yeast extract, and even modified cornstarch. These aren't harmful in small amounts, but they're not what most people imagine when they think of ground beef. And while Taco Bell claims these ingredients are safe and commonly used in the food industry, they've faced backlash and confusion from customers who expected a simpler, purer product. Some critics argue that these additives are a way to cut costs by stretching the beef further, making it cheaper to produce large quantities of food. When a fast food chain is selling tacos for just over $1, something has to give, and sometimes it's quality. This doesn't mean Taco Bell is doing anything illegal, but it does raise questions about transparency and how much we really know about what we're eating. If you're trying to be more conscious about your food choices or care about eating real whole ingredients, this might make you pause before ordering, because what looks like meat on the outside may be something completely different once you know what goes into it. When people try to make a healthier choice at Taco Bell, they often go for something like the Power Bowl or one of the menu items labeled as fresco style or low calorie. But what many don't realize is that these so-called healthy options can still be packed with hidden calories, sodium, and fat that sneak their way into your meal without you even noticing. For example, the Power Bowl might look like a smart choice because it comes with grilled chicken, rice, black beans, lettuce, and guacamole. But once you add in the creamy avocado ranch dressing and the portion size of the rice, you're suddenly looking at a meal that can contain over 500 calories and more than half of your recommended daily sodium intake. Even a basic taco might seem harmless, but if you add sour cream or nacho cheese, the numbers go up fast. What's more, Taco Bell's marketing makes you feel like you're making a guilt-free choice, using words like fresh or light. But these words don't always mean what you think. Just because it doesn't look greasy doesn't mean it's low in fat. And even when you customize your order, like asking for less cheese or no sauce, the default recipes used by the kitchen staff often remain unchanged unless you're very specific. This means many people think they're eating clean, when in reality, they're still consuming meals filled with more calories than expected. It's not about never eating fast food again, but it is about knowing what you're actually putting into your body, even when the label says healthy. Most people never stop to ask where Taco Bell actually gets its ingredients from, but it's one of the biggest factors that affects the quality of the food you're eating. Taco Bell doesn't grow its own vegetables or raise its own cattle. Instead, it relies on massive third-party suppliers and food manufacturers that deliver ingredients in bulk. While this helps the company keep costs down and ensures a consistent taste across locations, it also means that freshness can be sacrificed for convenience. For example, the lettuce and tomatoes are chopped and prepped in central facilities and then shipped to stores, often after days in transit. That means by the time they reach your tray, they're no longer truly fresh, even if they look okay. The same goes for the beef, which is cooked in large batches at processing centers and then reheated at each store. This system can lead to a loss of nutritional value and taste, and in some cases, even an increased risk of contamination if proper storage and transport conditions aren't followed closely. Even the tortillas, sauces, and cheese come pre-packaged, and employees often just warm or assemble them. While this kind of ingredient sourcing isn't unique to Taco Bell and is used by many fast food chains, it does make you wonder how different the food would be if it were made fresh in-house. And if you're someone who's trying to eat cleaner or more local foods, it's worth knowing that much of what you're getting has passed through a long industrial pipeline before ever hitting your plate. One of the biggest questions people ask about Taco Bell is how they manage to keep their prices so low. It seems almost too good to be true when you can walk in and get a full meal for under $5, and the answer lies in a combination of cost-cutting strategies that the company has mastered over the years. First, they rely heavily on bulk purchasing and centralized processing, which allows them to buy ingredients like ground beef, tortillas, and cheese in massive quantities at deeply discounted prices. This kind of bulk buying saves money, but it also means they're sourcing sourcing the cheapest possible versions of each ingredient, which often sacrifices freshness and quality. Second, they've perfected the use of fillers and flavor enhancers that make small amounts of real food go a long way. That's why a taco filled with just a little beef and some shredded lettuce still tastes satisfying, because of added seasonings, sodium, and sauces that trick your brain into feeling full. On top of that, their simplified menu designs and fast assembly process mean they can serve more customers quickly with fewer staff, cutting labor costs. While this system makes it easy to keep prices low, it also means you're often getting a product that's been engineered to taste good on the cheap, not to actually be good for you, and that trade-off might be worth reconsidering, because when food is this inexpensive, the real cost might be hiding in the long-term impact it has on your health, not just the few dollars you save at the register. If you've ever wondered what really happens behind the counter at Taco Bell, you're not alone, and the truth might make you think twice before placing your next order. Former employees have taken to social media and online forums to share what it's actually like to work in the kitchen, and their stories paint a picture that's very different from the polished ads you see on TV. According to many workers, speed is the top priority during busy shifts, which often means cutting corners. Food is sometimes prepped in bulk hours before it's needed, and ingredients like beans or ground beef come in vacuum-sealed bags that are boiled in hot water and then scooped into trays, not freshly made like some might assume. Some employees claim that when things fall on the floor, they're tossed back onto the line if managers aren't watching. Others report cross-contamination between meat and veggie items, especially when the kitchen gets hectic and staff are rushing to meet drive-thru times. Cleanliness is often left up to the discretion of whoever is on shift, which means that during slow times, things might be wiped down thoroughly, but when it's busy, sanitizing and hand washing are often skipped. While not every location is the same, and some managers enforce stricter rules, these insider reports reveal that quality control isn't always guaranteed. If the idea of your food being handled in a hurry, possibly dropped or mixed with other ingredients, makes you uneasy, then it might be worth thinking about what happens after you place your order and before it lands in your hands. When it comes to cleanliness at Taco Bell, most people assume there's a strict system in place to keep things safe and sanitary, but the reality is often far less perfect than the image portrayed in their commercials. While Taco Bell does have cleanliness standards set by the company, how closely those are followed can vary a lot from one location to another. Several former employees and health inspectors have reported that things like dirty prep stations, greasy floors, and improperly stored food are more common than you might expect. For example, ingredients that should be kept at a specific temperature are sometimes left sitting out too long, which can increase the risk of bacterial growth. Some workers admit to reusing gloves or skipping hand washing during busy rushes just to save time. Even the soda machines and touchscreen kiosks, which customers use daily, are not always cleaned as often as they should be, collecting germs that easily spread. Health inspections are supposed to catch these issues, but even then, violations can be marked as minor and stores remain open. In some cases, multiple violations don't result in immediate changes, especially when there's high customer volume and the focus stays on profits over safety. Of course, not every Taco Bell location is dirty, and some managers run very clean kitchens, but without being behind the scenes, there's no easy way to know what's happening in the back. If you care about hygiene and food safety, it might be worth thinking twice before assuming that just because it looks clean on the outside, it's actually clean where it counts. Secret menu items at Taco Bell might sound exciting and exclusive, like you're getting access to something special that only a few people know about, but there's a hidden side to these off-menu orders that can actually make them risky to order. First of all, secret menu items aren't officially recognized by the company, which means not every location knows how to make them or has the ingredients prepared in the way needed. This can lead to confusion in the kitchen, rushed assembly, and mistakes in your order. Some employees say that when customers ask for secret menu items like the cheese-a-rito or the Incredible Hulk burrito, they're often met with eye rolls or frustration from staff who are already dealing with a high volume of regular orders. Since these custom creations aren't in the system, workers have to manually build them based on memory or customer instructions, which raises the chances of cross-contamination or improperly handled food. Another issue is freshness. Because some of these items use ingredients that aren't part of the regular flow of orders, they might sit out longer or be pulled from parts of the kitchen that aren't restocked as often, leading to items that are not as fresh as you'd expect. Even worse, because these orders take longer and cause delays, some employees admit to rushing through them or cutting corners just to keep the line moving. What started as a fun way to feel like an insider can end up being a gamble with your food quality and safety, especially if the people making it don't have the time or resources to do it right. Taco Bell may seem like just a fun place to grab cheap tacos, but behind the scenes, the company has faced its fair share of lawsuits and controversies that many customers never hear about. One of the biggest cases happened when Taco Bell was sued over its beef, with claims that it didn't meet the standards to legally be called beef due to the added fillers and processing agents. While Taco Bell eventually won that lawsuit and even launched a PR campaign defending its ingredients, the fact that the lawsuit existed in the first place caused many people to question what was really in their food. But that's not the only legal trouble the chain has seen. Over the years, Taco Bell has been involved in cases related to employee wage theft, discrimination, and even food safety violations. In some cases, workers claim they were forced to work through breaks without being paid or pressured to stay quiet about unsafe conditions in the kitchen. There have also been outbreaks of foodborne illness linked to Taco Bell locations, including salmonella and E. coli, which led to some stores being temporarily shut down. These events may not happen every day, but they show that even major brands can make serious mistakes, especially when they prioritize speed and profit over employee treatment or food safety. Most customers are unaware of these incidents because they rarely make it into mainstream ads or flashy promotions, but they're part of the company's history. Knowing that Taco Bell has had to defend itself in court and handle multiple scandals might make you think differently before trusting every bite you take. One of the lesser known facts about Taco Bell's food is how much it relies on additives and chemicals to create that bold flavor people crave. And while these ingredients are technically legal and approved by food safety authorities, they can still have effects on your body that most customers are never told about. Taco Bell uses flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate or MSG in some of its items to boost taste without using more expensive natural ingredients. MSG is known to make food more addictive by triggering certain receptors in your brain, and while some people are fine with it, others report headaches, bloating, or a feeling of fatigue after eating it. There are also preservatives like disodium, inosinate, and sodium phosphate, which help extend shelf life and keep sauces or meats from spoiling too quickly. These chemicals are common in processed foods but aren't necessary in fresh cooking, which makes you wonder what you're really eating. Even the cheese and sour cream often contain stabilizers to keep them from separating or melting too fast. Some of the sauces, especially the ones with that rich smoky flavor, include artificial colors and flavors that come from petroleum-based sources. While the FDA allows these in small amounts, they've been linked in some studies to allergic reactions or hyperactivity in sensitive individuals. None of this means Taco Bell is breaking any rules, but it does raise concerns about what happens when you eat these additives on a regular basis. Your body may start to feel off without you even knowing why, because it's reacting to something hidden in your food. If you've ever eaten Taco Bell and felt weird afterward, there's a good chance it's not just in your head, but in the recipe. Have you ever eaten Taco Bell and then felt strange afterward, like your stomach is off or your energy suddenly crashes? That weird feeling isn't just random, and it might be your body reacting to how the food is made. A lot of people report feeling bloated, sluggish, or even nauseous after a Taco Bell meal, and it's not always about overeating. The real reason could be the mix of sodium, preservatives, artificial flavors, and processed ingredients that your body has to work overtime to break down. Taco Bell food is designed to hit your taste buds fast and hard with salty, cheesy, spicy flavors, but what it does inside your body is a whole different story. The high levels of sodium can cause your body to hold on to water, leading to bloating and puffiness. Add in refined carbs from tortillas and rice, which spike your blood sugar quickly, and you've got a recipe for a sudden energy crash that leaves you feeling tired or foggy an hour later. The oils used for frying and grilling are often the cheapest kinds, which can be harder for your body to digest and leave you feeling heavy. Some people also experience stomach aches or bathroom issues, especially if they have food sensitivities or are not used to heavily processed meals. This isn't about blaming Taco Bell for every bad meal, but if you notice that you consistently feel off after eating there, it could be your body sending a signal that something's not right. It's easy to ignore that weird feeling, but your body remembers. And once you start paying attention, you might decide it's not worth the after effects just to satisfy a quick craving. If you've made it this far, now you know the side of Taco Bell they don't want you to see. From hidden ingredients to what really goes on behind the counter, it's clear there's more happening than what you see on the menu. This isn't about fear, it's about being aware of what you're putting in your body. So next time you're craving a taco, ask yourself if it's really worth it. And now I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt strange after eating Taco Bell or noticed something off about the food? Drop your experience in the comments and let's see how many people have had the same thing happen. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read. If this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to know what they're really eating before their next Taco Bell run.